Welcome back. We are now doing, let's see, part 5, and we're going to add the blue square, which is right here on our chart. This blue square right here, which is above this pink square. And so I'm going to show you a different way to join as you go. So it just requires a little bit of an explanation. So if I were to zoom in, and you would see these double crochets run left to right. And so in a regular C2C, the stitch, or the C2C stitch, that square that would go right here, the double crochets would run up and down instead of left and right. And so when you join, if it's important to you, sometimes you will join by just slipping on a new yarn and then chaining 6 and starting that way. Other times you're going to want to do what I'm going to show you, and that's so that you get the alternating blocks. So I'll just go over that again. So this corner block, you have the double crochets running left to right, and so for this block you want them going up and down. So to do that, we're just going to add on, slip stitch on with our yarn. We're going to chain 3. And then we are going to slip stitch into this section right here that I'm showing you with my loom hook. We're going to chain 3, turn our work, and 3 double crochets. Oops. I'll just zoom out and get that on camera. So we have 1 double crochet, 2, and 3. And we'll just tighten that up. And so, as you can see here, we have these double crochets running left and right, and then these double crochets going up and down. And then we will just continue on as we normally do. I'll do the first few with you so that we know we're on the right track. We're going to chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And double crochet into the 4th, 5th, and 6th chain from the hook. And then we join to this first chain 3 space of our first square with a slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Show you what we have so far. Kind of looks a little bit wonky. That's okay. It will straighten out as we go on. And so we're going to join with a slip stitch into this section right here. Oops. right here where I'm showing you with my loom hook. Oops, slip stitch. And I'll just show you what we have so far here. And so we will continue on as we normally would with a chain 3 slip stitch to make our foundation row. Chain 3. And we're going to turn our work. Oopsie. Three double crochets into that foundation 3 space. And then you're just going to continue on as we normally would. And I will meet you when we get to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will meet you when we get to about the 8th row, and we'll go over how to do the corners again, and then we'll close off this next blue section again. So we're just nearing the end of this 8th row, and so we will slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, and then we will join with a slip stitch into this stitch right here. Oops. Just going to redo that here because that stitch was really tight. So again, we will join with the slip stitch, and then we will chain 3, and we want to join, I'll just zoom in here a little bit. We want to join with a slip stitch into this corner stitch right here. And so what I usually do is I just actually hook my hook in like that, and then join with the slip stitch. Then we'll chain up 3, turn our work. I'll just adjust the camera again. And then we will finish with 3 double crochets. And then we will continue on as we normally do. Slip stitch, 3 double crochets, and so this one will stick out a little bit until we come back in the next row, and we'll slip stitch into that, and then it'll straighten out a little bit. So I will meet you at the end of this row where we'll continue, and we will do we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We will do one more row this way, and then we'll start to decrease. So we're just finishing up this row, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet, join with a slip stitch to the last C2C square, chain 3, and 3 double crochets into that last chain 3 space. So we will now begin to decrease on both sides. So we'll chain 3, turn our work, join with the slip stitch, chain 3, and 3 double crochets into this chain 3 space. And we will continue on down here. We will decrease on this side as well. And so I will meet you when we are getting ready to finish off the blue section of this C2C join as you go. So we're just finishing up this row, join with a slip stitch, then we need to chain 3 to fill this little gap here, chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, going to turn our work, join with a slip stitch, and then we will make another C2C square by doing a chain 3 and 3 double crochets. And we will make another one in the next chain 3 space, slip stitch, chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, 3 double crochets, and then we will join with a slip stitch, chain 3, turn our work, join with a slip stitch, and we will make our last C2C square. So we will chain 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, oops, just going to redo that one as I splice the yarn, 2, and 3. Join with a slip stitch, and then to close this off, we're going to chain 3, join with a slip stitch, and there we have our second section for this 3-part section here. So it's getting a little bit too big to show everything on camera, but you get the gist of it. And so I'm going to do, let's just look at our pattern. So we've now completed this section, and this section. So I'm going to complete this next pink section off camera, and then I will come back and I will show you how to connect onto this L part here, because this blue section, which is actually the yellow section of our blanket, and this pink, blue and pink section make an L shape, so I'm going to have to show you how we connect that bit. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this pink part off camera. You should have all the information or all the knowledge to be able to do that. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to help you. And I will see you when we start right here.